Hello. Hello. Sorry. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Can you hear me? And can you see me? But yeah, I think everything is set up. Streaming a little bit later than usual, I guess. I don't know if it's later, but I've done a few late night streams. But I'm basically just trying to vary the time that I stream, just so different people can listen. Is the microphone volume too low or too loud or anything like that? I have a beer. Well, I figured that today we can check out some. So I have a Discord server. If you guys don't know that, if you like Discord, or if you wanted to check out Discord, or if you just wanted to a chill place to chat about various topics, you should join the Discord. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty chill community. Still smallish compared to some other creator-focused communities, but that's a thing that we can do. But anyway, there's a channel in my Discord where people promote stuff that they do, and I figure we could check some of those things out today. What's up, Ibrahim? What's up, Ave Satanas? What's up, Moon Goose? What's up, Jay? What's up, Andy? Looks like my chat isn't working. Might need to change the because my OBS crashed earlier. I think it messed some stuff up. Okay, cool. That worked, I think. Anyway, first stream. What's up, Stevie? The name Stevie reminds me of the show Schitt's Creek, which I've been watching recently, and I just kind of recently fell in love with that show. There's a character called Stevie on that show. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Christy Winters denying the Biden accusations? I don't know exactly what she said about that, but I don't know. Whenever it comes to these accusations, it's like, nobody was there except the people involved, so you can't really say one way or another what did or didn't happen. What's up, Casey? I just think it's generally the correct option to believe and support women when they, when they request support because they've been through a troubling or traumatizing experience. But I don't know what she said exactly. So, you know, denying the Biden accusations is pretty like nebulous phrasing. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. Unless she like specifically verbatim said, "I deny the Biden accusations." I kind of doubt that she said that though. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Noam Chomsky. I mean, I'm like vaguely familiar, but I've never like deeply like studied him or anything. But yeah, we can check out some stuff from the promote channel on the Discord. We don't have to do it right now. Maybe we can do it in a few minutes or something. I don't know. We'll see. Um, I have a poll that I want y'all to do real quick. If you want, I'd like you to do it. Notify. I'm gonna share a poll. Actually, I need to share it on T1J. Could you guys do that poll for me? Honestly, I barely understand how Discord works, but I feel like it's not that hard. Mainly it's just like a chat room. That's kind of basically all it is. Would I consider myself a gamer by definition? Well, I don't know exactly what you might consider the definition of gamer, but I play video games. And if that's a definition of gamer, then I guess I am a gamer. I feel like I'm the older I've gotten, the less hype I am about video games. As a whole, like there are specific video games that I get really excited about, but like the whole like video game industry as a whole, I'm not as enthusiastic about it as I used to be. Um, I'm also like generally not thrilled with sort of mainstream gamer culture. Although that could be just a lot of sort of bad eggs making it look bad. Because I know there are a lot of like small gamer communities that are awesome, but um, just overall like the perception of gamer culture online is it just seems pretty obnoxious if not like actively harmful. What the fuck, dude? I thought I fixed this. All right, hold on 1 second. So I need to I was having an issue with my camera shutting off, and I thought it was because it was like timing out because of supposed inactivity, but I thought I fixed it, and I guess I didn't. I have to hold on. So if I do this though, wait, let me shut that off. It's gonna keep autofocusing. All right, I don't know. I don't know. I have to figure that out. Any community can be non-toxic if it's just you and your friends. Well, yeah. But you know, a lot of games are require you to play with people that aren't your friends. And it's not just playing the game, it's like reading about the game, watching other people play the game, getting tips for the game, watching streams of people playing the game, watching tournaments for the game. So, you know, like the whole culture around gaming. I feel like it's the camera's gonna shut off again. Um, yeah, but yeah. Well, I mean, I think there are a lot of people that are excited about games. I just feel like it's just me being old. And also, like, I just feel like I don't have as much time. Like, I mean, I guess I have time, but I feel like if you want to be like a, I don't know, like a responsible and productive adult, you just can't sit around playing video games that much. I mean, maybe some people can do it, but I just feel like there's always something to do. It's like, shit, I need to clean my fucking house, or shit, I need to do some work, or shit, I need to, you know, go do this. Even, you know, like, I mean, it's like, yeah, I got invited to do this thing, and I got to do that now, and Oh, I've got to like check my email. It just seems like there's not as much time to just sit and play video games all the time. You hear about the Smash Brothers community? Yeah, I did. And yikes, I think, is the appropriate response. Yikes, indeed. Love playing fighting games, but that community is rife with toxicity. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's sort of a an offshoot of gamer culture in general. But I think that it also, you know, there's like small pockets, like small communities within the gamer culture that seem to be, you know, not as bad at least. Like, I don't know, for example, my personal experience with Tekken and the Tekken community has been positive. Like they seem pretty like cool and you know, but you know, maybe that's just my experience. But if you venture out, if you go into like the Smash Bros community or the Street Fighter community, it can get a little weird. Yeah, I don't. When you're just saying like, that's why I was like, I don't know exactly what you mean by gamer, but I feel like the idea of sort of like the mainstream gamer culture, like sort of what I think of when I think of gamers, is not necessarily positive. But maybe it's not fair to generalize it like that because you know everybody's a gamer. You know, people who play Candy Crush on their phone are technically gamers. Sakurai about to cancel Smash for everybody. And listen, this is just going to make Sakurai and Nintendo double down on their hatred for the competitive Smash community. Like they have historically been pretty antagonistic, maybe not antagonistic, but pretty callous towards the competitive community. And more recently, they've sort of like begrudgingly supported the competitive community. But I feel like this definitely threw a wrench in any progress that was being made by that. I liked it better when we thought Smash players were incels. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with a lot of this gamer shit. It's not even just Smash, it's like all these Twitch streamers and stuff. It's sort of like a lot of these kids who, you know, kind of socially awkward, socially anxious, and they sort of made all of their friends through the internet, and they didn't really get to practice actually interacting with people and like learning what's appropriate and inappropriate. Um, and then a lot of these people become, you know, quasi famous and sometimes quasi rich, and you just get to a point where you just like, you have all of this like validation and you know parasocial affection, and you add that to the fact that you never really learned how to be a person in real life before. It's just a bad combination. Like I heard a good, especially like when you're talking with Smash Brothers, and I guess this is gonna be another, like my last stream got demonetized, so I guess this is gonna be another one that gets demonetized. But you know, when you're talking about like relationships with underage people, I heard a good explanation of this. Like when we go to tournaments, like one of the reasons I stopped, because I used to go to Smash tournaments, for those that don't know, and one of the reasons I stopped going is because I realized that it was just a bunch of teenagers, and I am like 29, and I'm like, this just seems uncomfortable. I don't like this. But you, in general, when you like go to events or or even if you're just interacting online, um, you're not really thinking about how old people are. It's just, this is just the community. This, unless they like look like children, like sometimes there were like literal fucking like 12-year-olds that showed up to tournaments with their parents. And in that case, it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. But when you see, if you see someone's like 17 and you're like 25, it doesn't like register to you, hey, that person is literally a minor. You're like, hey, that's the homie who, who's really good with Marth. What's up? How you doing? And so a lot of people don't even think about that sort of thing. And then when you get into situations where people are hanging out after the event or people are drinking and all that shit, you may also in that situation not consider how old people are. Do I use TikTok? I actually just made a TikTok account like 2 days ago. I haven't uploaded anything on it yet. I'm not sure. Like I was looking through it and it's like I don't know if this is the platform for me, but maybe I can just sort of carve out my own niche on it because there's like some people that I like on TikTok, and there's some good stuff on TikTok, but there's also a lot of super cringy stuff on TikTok. And it's like I don't know if this is for me. Because I mean, even like age is just a nebulous thing when you're interacting with people on the internet, really. Like I think a lot of people are surprised when they learn how old I am because a lot of the other YouTubers in this space are like in their like early 20s and stuff. People don't really think about age, or they just kind of assume that everyone around them is around the same age unless they like very clearly look like they're um, older. Does anyone still play Tekken Tag? I don't think so because Tekken 7 is pretty much unanimously considered to be a superior game. I think that most Tekken players hate Tekken Tag Tournament. Like I don't think they like it very much. But I don't know. As another person described it, like even though this is terrible, it's terrible that this was going on. It's good that we learned that it was going on, so now we can begin the process of purging all these toxic people out of the community, and hopefully rebuild the community into something more positive and less predatory. Because even the Smash community, like I don't want to like talk shit about people, and I definitely don't want to victim blame, but there's one of these like young guys that was involved in these things. It seems clear that this is a person who was like basically chasing these older streamers, older gamers, um, and like trying to start relationships with these older players. Um, and you know, you can say whatever you want about that. To some extent, this is a person who was like 14, 15, and a lot of times you don't, because of like the power dynamic, you aren't making the smartest decisions. But at the end of the day, the adults in the situation should have known better than um, to actually pursue these things. Yeah, same thing with Bon Appetit. That was like devastating to me because I love Bon Appetit. But yeah, well, get all the shitty people out, fix the situation. Um, if at the it sucks, but at the end of the day, if like I don't think the competitive Smash is gonna die or anything, but if it did, we would move on. The world would go on, and if something has to die in order for people to be safe, then that's fine. Yeah, that's Senpai stuff. That shit was. I think of the Smash stories, that one is like the most yikes. Yeah, the adults. I mean, the adults definitely. The adults are the people. The onus is on the adults for sure. Um, and it's just. I mean, this sort of this world we live in now, where anybody can sort of become famous. It's kind of not great because some people don't need to be famous. Some people can't handle it. Some people will make bad decisions. Um, and I use famous in quotes because some of these people are just like locally famous. They're not known outside of the scene, but within the scene, they're pretty well respected and stuff like that. Or they might just be a Twitch streamer that has 10,000 followers or something, and you know, um, and I always say like I mentioned that I'm older, like I'm 35 years old, and my channel is doing okay, but it kind of blew up. It's been blowing up more the past couple years, and it is very fortunate for me that my channel started to grow now instead of when I was like 19 or 20. But I was 19 and 20 before YouTube existed. But um, if I happened to be that young, it probably would have been a rough situation. I'm not saying that I would do anything like super criminal like that, but I probably would have been caught doing or saying some cringy shit for sure. Would you rather have it gate kept by TV stations and radio? Well, no, obviously not. I just think we have to do better to. I think I think people just have to learn how to interact with other people. We have to do better to show people how to act, basically, and people have to do better to educate themselves about how to act. Yeah, well, there's yeah, and I think there's also a responsibility for people in the scene to just not stand idly by while things like this are going on, because I think that was part of it too. That's the Twitch, all the Twitch streamers and the Smash thing. Um, like the Senpai thing. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know the situation, but even just the clips that they already showed just a short, like 3-second clips, it seems clear to me that she was being inappropriate with this little kid, and there's just a bunch of people looking around. It's like, did nobody? I'm sure people were like, "What the hell's going on with that? That's weird," but it doesn't seem like anyone did anything about it. Well, to be fair, they did. It did get brought up, I think, like a year ago or a couple of years ago, but they like both denied it, and then it got kind of swept under the rug, I guess. But I don't know, man. Yeah, actually, I don't think that's true. I was 19 in 2005. Yeah, wait. Yeah, 2005. So, I I think I think YouTube was created in 2005. So, basically around the time it started. Would I still make YouTube videos while you're married and having children? I mean, possibly. It just kind of depends. I mean, if that's still what my career is, yeah. I have no intention of ever getting a regular job, if that's what you're asking. But what my job is may not always be specifically making YouTube videos. But I assume it'll always be something creative, and I assume it'll always be something where I don't have a boss. So yeah, and I've seen some of these, some of the people commenting on these situations who have sort of, they've had that sort of epiphany where it's like, it's not enough to just be a good person yourself, especially when you're involved in a big community. Um, like, you've got to say something.
I've got to run, but glad I got to catch a screen with you. Hope you all have a good evening.
Thank you for the 420, Commander Nasty. Did everybody hear that, by the way? If you tip, rather than super chat, you can get the TTS, the text to speech. I've added that recently. Just thought it would be cool. Hopefully, people don't abuse it like they do on Twitch. Um, I've played the first 3 Assassin's Creed games. I have the Game Awards, but well, I don't know exactly with text to speech. I don't know exactly what, if the blacklist of banned words do anything. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Casey, thanks for stopping by the stream. Am I familiar with Ibram X. Kendi? Nope. You have a favorite science popularizer? I don't know. I feel like Carl Sagan was like the OG. Like, he kind of, I don't know. He's just like very like. I have nothing bad to say about Carl Sagan, I guess. But it was a little bit before my time. Like, I was very young when he was active, but In fact, was I when did he stop? They used to show his stuff like on PBS and stuff. Okay, yeah, so I was like really young. This is very cool. I didn't know you streamed. Yep. I mean, I used to stream every week, and then I kind of took like 6 months off, if not more than that. But now I'm back, and I'm trying to stream Mondays and Fridays. I don't really have a set time. I just kind of stream whenever I'm ready to. But um, the best way to find out when my stream is live is just to click the notification bell. Other than that, you can just check in sometime um, in between like 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central time, and I might be streaming on a Monday or Friday. Yeah, you can also join the Discord. I always announce when I'm going live on Discord, but yeah, that's an option. I also announce on Twitter, but Twitter is algorithm based, and it probably generally decides not to show people those announcements because they're not high engagement. But that's why I do those polls. If I just to see how people find out about the stream, and it seems like YouTube notifications are by far the most common way people find out about them. Does Sam Harris count as a science communicator? I feel like he doesn't even do that. I feel like he's more of a philosopher slash political pundit almost. Um so yeah, we for those who don't know, on my Discord we have a channel where people promote stuff that they've made, and we're going to take a look at some of those things, see if we can give some exposure to some things that might be cool. Let's figure out the best way to do this. I'm gonna have to yeah, just give me a minute now. I'm going to set up the screens so I can wait, what? His mother worked on the Golden Girls. Really like your Sam Harris vid. What are your thoughts on Jordan Peterson? I spent like a small amount of time looking into Jordan Peterson, and I was not very impressed, so I kind of stopped following him. It seems like he is, you know, pretty knowledgeable as you might imagine about his like field of study, which is like psychology, right? But whenever he starts to talk about politics, it is pretty much always like either just like silly or just a bad take, if not like a harmful take. I don't think he's the fact that he is popular is kind of the only thing that is a little bit worrisome, but I don't think that he's like a person that we need to focus a lot of attention on. Like I don't um I feel like there are more harmful people out there. But again, I probably have not studied him as much as some other people, so all right. Guess I'll do display capture, huh? I think he also bought his PhD in neuroscience. I didn't see your Sam Harris video. Do you talk about the bell curve? I briefly talk about it, but it's not the crux of the video. Yeah, I did a whole video about Sam Harris, which wasn't really like uh, um wasn't really like a takedown of Sam Harris or whatever, but it's kind of like just talks about like some issues basically. It's down here. Sorry, I'm just kind of setting up the scene for the reactions, but just do this. Do it like this. Oh my god. Wait, what is this? Um, but yeah, I think Sam Harris obviously he's got some issues, but I also think that people sometimes, and this is not just him, but people often sort of like jump on the hate bandwagon for people without really even understanding what they're talking about or understanding why or really understanding the viewpoints of the person that they're criticizing. And that happens with Sam Harris a lot. And it happens with everybody. It happens with Jordan Peterson, it happens with Joe Rogan. People just kind of jump on the hate bandwagon, really. Um, okay, this is the one I want. Let's see, Sam Harris. Try to ambush Noam Chomsky and get bodied. Was that when they were like emailing each other? I think Sam Harris is just really bad at like I said in the video, I think he has lost um all, like he can't conceive of the fact that he might be wrong about something. Let's just do this. All right. I haven't watched a Blair White video in like 4 years. I remember 4 years ago, I had a very, like, she was like very not great, but I don't know. I mean, she might be different now, but she was kind of a bully. She was like really super cruel to Riley Dennis as well as other people. All right, let's see if this works. Okay. So this is my Discord. Wait, I need this to be bigger. Anyway, this is my Discord. This is a promote channel. I guess we'll start with from the bottom. He has so many videos on psych topics, and he's fairly charismatic. So many an adjunct has just lifted his content to make teaching the course easier. Interesting. The video detailing New Atheism awoke memories of my family's obsession with the Zeitgeist docuseries. Oh, I remember Zeitgeist. Starting to realize how toxic they were to my tolerance of others' beliefs. Yeah, I mean, in general, I just realized like it's just bad to be an asshole. That's just kind of like, not even just with beliefs, but just with everything. But I'm still pretty hostile to the concept of religion in general. Like that part hasn't changed for me. All right, this is, so the first one was, we have Jake W. We're gonna click on this. It is what described as a dumb Lord of the Rings animation. I think it's short. I think I watched this before.
Hold out your...
Yeah, hold on. Let me see, make sure it's showing up. This doesn't need to be here. And let me know if it's too loud.
Hold out your hand, Frodo. It's quite cool.
It's quite cool. .foa. That's it. Oh, that's cool. All right, so that was Jake Walker on YouTube. They've got 1.5K subscribers. Looks like they do a lot of animations. They did a Game Grumps animated. I don't want to click on that because the audio might be copyrighted. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's how it works. I guess it's not that long. I mean, because that was definitely copyrighted audio too, but
If they've tapped into the data center, aren't we fucked already?
Cammy, we have got to work on your cursing.
Why? I curse pretty well already.
yeah, I can move it over. Huh?
Fine. Effed. Aren't we already effed?
Yeah, I'm just, let's see. So yeah, you guys can check out Mr. Jake if you want. Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but well, I want to check out some. I don't want to like spend too much time on one individual person. Just want to highlight some stuff that people showed. Am I feeling all right? I'm feeling pretty good. This is a short movie by Morgan, who I think might be in the chat right now. It's long, but we can look at a little bit of it. There's a lot of text.
Oh. Gosh, it sure is a good thing I'm the only person left alive in Montana. It'd be quite a shame if anything happened to change that.
Corner Crew Movie 5? Is that what it's called?
Well, hey there, Morgan. How's it going today?
Well, everyone I've ever loved is dead, including Stanley. But, you know, all things considered, I'm actually doing
Yo,
pretty alright.
that blanket is dope.
We live in a society!
Whoops. Text.
Shirt pants, isn't it?
It's called Corner Crew 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me.
Do you know why you're here?
Nope. And I doubt they know either.
Apparently, you were trying to steal some files from the archive.
Also,
that holds
that's
all
safe.
The information regarding the well-being of the rest of the corner crew. We caught you though, and now we're gonna interrogate you. We like to keep it pretty simple around here, so
Anyway,
tell me what you know.
Well, I know if we put grapes in the microwave, they'll explode.
what do I think about Kanye West running for president? I don't know. I think it's pretty silly. It'll be interesting. I mean, I am pretty positive that the Republicans will never nominate a black person. But well, he's running in his own party though, right? Yeah, that's right. He said he would run for Republican, but then he said he was running for his own party. But anyway, he seems to be targeting conservatives is kind of what I mean. And I don't think that conservatives are going to vote for a black dude. But you never know. It's 2020. Nothing makes sense anymore. So this is on Thomas Prendergast channel. If you guys want to check this out. I'll give it a like. Let me give old Jake a like as well. I think he like created his own party. He's definitely been saying anti-vax stuff. I don't know if that's like a major part of his platform. He seems to be on like some libertarian type of shit. Cause, you know, he understands a lot of social issues, but then he says a lot of dumb shit like anti-vax stuff and things of that nature. All right, this is from Augustus, who is also in the chat. I do this series in my free time where I have people talk about unique sentimental attachments they develop to films. This looks like it's probably also long, but that's cool.
I am Maxwell Martinez. I'm going to talk about Paranorman because it is one of my favorite movies. And it is still teaching me how to come to terms with my own acceptance of fear and how I navigate through my fear, and that fear is not necessarily something negative or something ugly or something evil. It just means that it is something unknown.
This is on the Augustus channel. Give it a look. All right, AMM, thanks for checking out the stream. Yeah, I think I remember seeing like trailers for Paranorman, but then I just never heard about it ever again. Yeah, I might come back and finish watching this one. This is from Fawnable. Here's an album of my personal favorites. I guess this is just photos. Are these photos that she took? I guess. It says Davy Photography. I don't know. Yeah, I guess these are photos that she took. But yeah, this, I mean, I don't, I'm not like experienced enough in photography to really critique it, but I can just look at something and see if it looks good. Like the colors on this one looks really cool. I love portrait photography. I love photos of people. I think it's like my favorite kind of photography, especially, or pretty much generally, like candid photos of people are like my favorite kind of photos. Because you can come up with so many like stories and stuff. When I was in college, I took creative writing classes, and I would just look at like photos of people, especially if I could find like candid photos of people. And I would try to create stories like just based on the people, and like it's like, what are they talking about? What's going on in their life? Like you could look at a photo like this for like an hour, just trying to just like thinking of what these people might be like or what they're talking about, and just like the details, like the orange juice, and then that look like. Is that like a bottle of like the first thing I thought was that that's a bottle of like antacids, like Tums or something, but I don't know if that's what it is. And then there's like a jar of mayo or something over here. And this looks like, I guess this is like a dining room, and there's like a bookshelf back here. This looks like I don't know if it's like encyclopedia set. Like, I don't know, for you young folks back in the day before the internet, we had to use encyclopedias to look up information. I don't know if that's what that is though. It doesn't quite look like it is, but it could be. Anyway, cool photo. Cool photo. Wow, Flickr has ads. I didn't know that. I have ad block though. Photos of kids. Cute kids are always good. Are these clams? What are these? Oh, it's just like various seafood, like lobsters. Or is it just all? No, there's like fish over here. There's some lobsters. Interesting. Sunsets. I feel like a sunset is just like a cheat code for a beautiful photo. Sunsets are just like one of the most naturally beautiful things in existence. Viking. So yeah. I guess you would have to go to Flickr and search Davey Photography to find this stuff. I don't know how else to share it, but this is from Fawnable in my her name in our Discord is Fawnable, so those are the ones that were shared today. Here's some stuff from prior. This is some random geek who streams on Twitch. Recently they were doing a charity stream. I doubt that they're live currently, but you can check out some random geek if you like. 26 followers. They were playing Dead Cells, which is a cool game if you've never played it. But yeah, you can go to Twitch TV/some random geek, and the E's in geek are both 3s. Fawnable shared this the other day. Said a friend of mine recently got fired for asking about hazard pay and a fair wage. So I think it's, let me see. This is Twitter. I have Twitter blocked on my computer. Wait, no. I have Twitter blocked on my computer, so I have to open up an incognito window to go to Twitter. Says, hello, I'm back on Twitter because I'm a very important fight. Need your help. My boss fired me and fellow workers for asking for a living wage and a say in safety policy and then refusing to train scabs. This is me calling in all my favors. Please boost the following. So this is a place, Pie Hole Pizzeria in Salt Lake City, I guess, or no, somewhere. All right, so I guess they're wanting people to call this company. So if you are interested in doing that, I'll leave the number on the screen for a little while. I'm trying to see if there's any other thing that I'm missing for this. Yeah, I blocked Twitter on my browser a while ago because I just realized that reading Twitter like doesn't make me happy, so I just disincentivized myself from reading it. There's other things in this thread. There's a picket today. That was on the 8th. The owner has been giving us a hard time getting us our termination documents and says we don't qualify for unemployment because he has the money to seek legal counsel and give us a hard time. Oh, they also have a donation link. If you want to donate, we're accepting donations to assist workers who were fired from Pie Hole on Broadway while exercising their rights under the National Labor Relations Act to organize their workplace. So if you want to donate, you can do that at donorbox.org/worker-solidarity. So if you would like to donate, you can do that here. I guess if you need these links and you don't want to join the Discord, you can just like message me or email me. But all these links are on the Discord. Okay. I never got into Twitter. I don't understand the layout. I can't tell who is replying to who. Well, it tells you who is replying, who the person is replying to, but I can understand how it can be confusing. Like the threading on Twitter is pretty bad. Like if there's anything that Reddit is good for, their comment threading is pretty much the only good. Like I don't understand why no other sites have good comment threading. I cut out Facebook entirely, still keep Twitter around because I can curate it to be less toxic. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more difficult if you have a lot of followers, but I find it easier on Facebook to curate, but I don't know. This is from Stevie. Queering The Last of Us Part 2. She described it as some gay shit involving The Last of Us, you know. So I've never played The Last of Us 2.
This video is not about The Last of Us Part 2. This video is about how we talk about The Last of Us Part 2.
It's one of those games where
since we're doing a
I don't
new
know if I'm going to play it, so I don't know if I want
I thought I'd change
spoilers.
the visuals slightly. Nah, that looks weird. Maybe something a bit more feminine? Yeah, there we go.
All right, Morgan,
So
thanks for checking out the stream.
Part 2 has become completely toxic. Time to get out the hazmat suit. We are diving right in, kids. The question I want to ask is The Last of Us 2 good representation? But even that's kind of a multi-part question. The beginning is as good a place to start, I guess. The Last of Us released in 2013 to massive critical acclaim.
So I assume that you probably would have needed to play the game
subgenre I'm calling
to understand this movie. I mean, this
with
video.
the Uncharted series.
And I don't know if the video has
The Last of Us
spoilers.
itself was noteworthy at the time for being hailed as a narrative achievement in gaming, but looking back on games in that era we thought were pushing the medium forward, I seriously struggle to find one that I remember actually holding up to modern scrutiny. I mean, seriously, y'all remember BioShock Infinite? Spec Ops The Line? GTA 5? Far Cry 3? Of course you don't. The thing about The Last of Us that makes it stick out for me, other than being all over my fucking social media feed for time eternal since the leaks.
Did you just argue that GTA 5, that people don't remember GTA 5? I can't tell if that was sarcastic or not. Maybe the story. Yeah, people don't really talk about the story in GTA 5 that much, but the game definitely lived on. The spoilers are kept fairly light. Okay, cool. So I'll put a little
dropped
bit
in the
more.
beginning of May, is that it's the one super artsy AAA game that tries to have queer representation. Yeah, I know Mass Effect did it, but don't get me fucking started on Mass Effect because we will be here for hours and you will want to crucify me. Anyway, yeah, the first game had basically nothing LGBT in it as far as I could tell. It wasn't until the DLC for the original game, Left Behind, came out that we learned that Ellie is a lesbian. In The Last of Us Part 2, we learn that Ellie has a girlfriend, and we meet another character named Lev, who is a trans man. Alright, awesome, solid representation we can really get our teeth into, right? The problem I'm running into with this game...
But yeah. So this is another video I might come back and finish. This is from Stevie Quinn on YouTube. You all can check that out if you would like. I like your little avatar here. So yeah, it's I think a lot of these videos look interesting. For sure, and they're not that long too. Like these days, there's a lot of video essayists who are making like hour-long videos and stuff. And even my videos, I feel like have gotten a little bit too long. But it's sometimes you just want to watch like a 10-minute essay and then be done with it. 10-12 minutes. So I appreciate that. Okay. Is this some random geek shared Tabby the Wolfless? Who was also doing let me see what this was. I think this was an event that happened a few days ago. Noah Cadwell Gervais did a 2-hour 12-minute vid on The Last of Us. Yeah, I can imagine. I'll be open. Oh, so it's okay. There was another charity stream. Well, I don't know if that person is going to continue do more charity streams, but if you want to check them out, it's Tabby the Wolfess. Tabby the Wolfess. I said Wolfless earlier. This person has 855 followers, so they've got like a nice little community going. So I guess a lot of people were like streaming charity over the weekend. And the weekend has ended, so hopefully, I don't know. What else we got here? Some random geek. He shares this, or they share this. I don't know the pronouns. That's my bad. But they share the stream a bunch. Social Justice Alchemy. Is this like a podcast?
Yeah, spell the damn. If you're gonna insult me, spell it right.
Pepe Le Pew. Now there's a role model worth emulating, right? Never take no for an answer.
Yeah.
God, our culture is fucked. We teach our children from a young age to be date rapists, or just outright rapists.
Well, the stream's getting demonetized.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I decided not to warn you. I wanted to go live by calling Tom
Anyway, it looks like this is either like just a podcast, or I think it is a podcast called Social Justice Alchemy. Y'all can check that out. Social Justice Alchemy on YouTube. It was described as your weekly digest of a bunch of anarchists to sit around and talk about whatever. This country's birth, why America is not and never has been great, fun stuff. So that was the one that was shared there. This was shared for Once Don't Do It. I think I see it. Maybe saw this. For once, don't buy what we're selling. Oh, is this like a parody commercial? I guess I can play this whole thing. It's short. Hey, this is some shots fired. Hey man, found you via Professor Flowers. Got into that left it bread tube. That's definitely some, they fucking went hard on that one. That's some shots fired at Nike. Now, this is from Soft Boy Social Club. Y'all can check that out if you want. I guess I'm more traditional progressive and feel your videos. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't know what is traditional progressive, or I don't even, who knows. But I'm glad that I'm glad you enjoy the videos. All right, Z Punch shared Jonathan Ong, generally one of the most entertaining streams I've had the pleasure of witnessing. He's live. So he's a musician.
It's because it was something that I was living and breathing, essentially. And now I can't remember pretty much any of it.
So this is like a partner streamer,
leads
so
to
it's
a
like a
certain sort of
person
like,
who's actually, you know, got a little bit of an audience going.
You asked me to play classical music now.
I don't know
There'll
if
be a couple
this
pieces,
does
and
this,
I would be
probably does it
relying
full time
on,
at this point.
like prehistoric brain stuff just to get through the end of it. Beyond the Crisis, the name of autobiography. Well, it's better than my my favorite French teacher's autobiography. From nothing to not much. I'll never forget that title.
I want to be. Yeah, I just want to get a little bit of music. Seems like he's a pretty good like broadcaster and host, and also obviously really good at the piano. Oh, he's got the cool setup where people where lights light up when people tip and donate and stuff. I actually was thinking about setting something like that up. Anyway, and one of the reasons why I am not, you know, staying on any particular thing that long is if you want, by the way, hold on, that was Jonathan Ong on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jonathan Ong. But for one, I don't want my stream to be a replacement for the actual content. Like, if you want to check out the content, you should go check it out. Also, it's, you know, it's kind of like stealing content. All right, this is the same podcast, Social Justice Alchemy. This is reward a drawer or reward a drawer. It was another charity stream a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, but we can check out the actual Twitch channel. And this person is actually streaming.
Try it again.
And this is actually
Sailors have Pokemon too.
A member of the Discord.
Hell yeah.
So
Send out Tentacool.
I don't know if anybody wants to say hello while they're streaming.
Yeah, you got a second dab because the first one was not great.
Give them a follow. I'll give them a follow.
Whoa. T1J Games, thank you for the follow, friend. Welcome to the Cool Ranch. Yo, is that the one janitor? Really good at playing on my guitar? Thank you, Dude of Fiends. It's not that hard though. So my controls are actually pretty simple. It's
Well, yeah, I'm sharing
B,
people, so
left,
obviously
right,
people are gonna
left,
cop
right, or yellow and blue.
viewers.
Up and down. So there's not a lot that I have to actually do for this game that's like
Okay.
super action sensitive.
I'll send them a message.
I'm basically using it as like a primer for learning how to do other games. Okay, you're not bad. Yeah, that's right. TM44, I don't know what that is. We caught all our Pokemon while out at sea. Nice. Group of friends who played the Jackbox made a t-shirt on a game that said, oh, on TKO, yeah. Said I suck your dick for $11. Hell yeah, man. I'll have to make sure to follow back. Didn't know you were streaming, actually. I mean, I know you do stuff on YouTube. I didn't know that you were doing stuff on Twitch as well. Streaming on YouTube. Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Alright, let's see what else we got
That's
here.
valid.
Oh, this is another Stevie Quinn video. So yeah, hopefully y'all like check some of these folks out.
Well, I guess I lied about this video being light and fluffy.
And we'll do more of
So in
this
the
where
second
we're
video I
like looking
posted to
at
this channel,
streams and
I
things of that
discussed the
nature.
character of Jules in the HBO show Euphoria, and especially discussed the character in the context of Jules being a trans woman portrayed.
So this is another Stevie Quinn video. I'm trying to see if there's some other people though. Yeah, I'm trying to get this channel more active, but I think that a lot of people don't use it because I don't know if if anyone actually like checks out the stuff in the channel. So hopefully me looking through some of this stuff will encourage people to check some of the stuff out. But I think that we'll stop that for now, and in the future I'll announce it earlier in advance and get people to share some stuff. But hopefully I gave y'all some things to look at, and hopefully you check out some of the stuff that was shared. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of good stuff out there that doesn't get a lot of exposure, especially on YouTube, especially on Twitch. Even it's even worse on Twitch. Let's see. I got a bunch of tabs open now. I gotta close a bunch of shit. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back. It's so hard to find not popular streamers on Twitch. Well, I don't know if it's, well, it's hard to find ones that, you know, you actually want to follow. But if people, if people like use the browse function and actually like search people manually, that's the way you do that. But it's kind of an inconvenient way of finding people, because, you know, on YouTube you just like kind of look around and you get suggested things and all that nature. But on Twitch, they really haven't caught up in terms of like making an algorithm that helps people get found. So that's why it's harder. But, you know, you can literally just type in like a category you're interested in or a game you're interested in, and then just browse through all the people that are streaming. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Yo. I'm afraid my camera's gonna cut off again. Whoops. But yeah. But Twitch does, they do like they have like the featured streams or recommended streams, and it's always people who are already really popular. What if I do this? What the fuck? But there are also some popular streamers that are fun to watch. So, but it's, you know, it's just another one of those things where the people who are already popular get more popular because everything's sort of designed, and to some extent it makes sense. It's like, hey, if fucking 1,000 people are already watching this person, that might mean that this person is fun to watch, and that might mean that more people will enjoy them. But the idea is maybe other people are entertaining as well. Chad, thank you for the $20. Hey everyone, I hope you are staying healthy and safe. I'm doing my best. Well, I don't know if I'm doing my best, but I'm social distancing. This pandemic, it's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but at first it was like, okay, there's a pandemic, but it seems to only affect, at-risk people, and it just seems like one of those things is like, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do, it shouldn't affect me or come close to me. But now, like 10 people I know have tested positive for COVID. And it's just become more real. It's like, oh, this is real. I mean, granted, people still don't usually die from it, although some people do, especially if they're, immunocompromised or a certain age or something. But it's just like a lot more real to me now. And especially since we've done a terrible job, at least in the United States, we've done a terrible job of encouraging, if not forcing people to social distance and wear masks and all that stuff. But I never leave my house, so as far as distancing goes, quarantining, I'm doing that much. Why won't this open? But yeah, I appreciate that, Chad. But we will take a look at the promote channel on my Discord, maybe a couple times a month, maybe once a month, something like that. Just kind of look through and see what kind of stuff people are doing. It's cool that we actually found someone who is like currently live. Like there was a streamer that was live, but it wasn't actually a member of the Discord. So it's cool that we found like an actual member of the Discord that's live. Or that was live. Hopefully at least one of you gave them a follow. And the next stream, I'm working on a video. I hope to have it out this week. Well, I need to have it out this week, actually. So the goal is to have it out this week, and then we're going to stream again on Friday is the goal. And then I have another video. My goal is to start doing 2 videos a month if possible. So I want to have another video out later this month, maybe around the 23rd. I don't know. We'll see. Like honestly, the video that I wanted to have out, I wanted it to already be done, but we're looking for, I'm trying to think of different activities we can do on the stream, because in the past we've normally just done normally just kind of hung out and did Q&A and things of that nature, which I guess people enjoy. But I just want to mix it up, do some different things. You got an obsession with R. Kelly. I guess I know people who are R. Kelly fans. I don't really talk about it with people anymore. Oh, I just saw this post. For me, traditional progressives is someone who wants to work within the American system. For the idea of a rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard for me to talk about political policy and stuff in a very general way. Like I much prefer to talk about like individual issues. Like I generally describe myself as a progressive. I don't know if I'm a traditional progressive. It just probably depends on who you ask. But I'm clearly not like I think it's pretty clear I don't like line up with a lot of like the bread tube leftist people. Except when it comes to social justice, but when it comes to economic issues, it is pretty clear that they're on like a different wavelength. But I don't know. I guess we'll probably end the stream in about 10 minutes. We're coming up on 2 hours, and seems like people have run out of things to say, which is fine. And it also is pretty late, especially if you don't live in the United States. So I can understand why people might, because it's Monday. It's like Monday night. In America, people probably still have school and work and stuff. So maybe I should do. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should do evening Monday and then night Friday. Something like that, maybe. Good morning from Japan. It's 11 a.m. Listening to this as I'm working from home. Cool. Thanks for checking out the stream. I don't know, is John Doyle like some kind of satirist, or is he like actually a obnoxious conservative? Because I don't have any interest in that. Where I usually play D&D, Tabletop Center, home based. It's a home based game. We play at my buddy's house because he has a lot of space, and we can sit far apart. I'd like to get into D&D. Everyone should play D&D. It's an amazing game. The easiest way to get into D&D is to learn how to DM, how to be the dungeon master or game master. That's the easiest way to actually make a game happen because you run the game. And from most people's experiences, from what I've seen, there are a lot of people who want to play but just don't know how to get it started, or kind of embarrassed about trying to talk to people about it. So if you just decide to start a game, you can find people that want to play. What's up, Archibald? Why would you want me to check out John Doyle then? Starting a game is way easier than overcoming the anxiety of starting a game. Yeah. I agree with that. And also once you start, but I mean, this probably applies to everything, but once you start, you realize it's not that big of a deal. And if you're like new to DMing, it's gonna be like, you're not gonna remember everything. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be like, how does this work? But it's gonna be fun, and you realize since you're the DM, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want, especially if you're playing with newer players. At least with 5th edition, which is the only version of D&D I've played, but it is very, very beginner friendly. It's very easy to just sit down and start playing. You don't even need anything. You literally just need the basic rules, and then you can just play D&D. It's really cool. Did you say you work in D&D? What's up, Watch Jin? I mean, I'm relatively new to D&D. I've been playing for 2 years now, and there's still a lot of shit that I don't know off the top of my head. Like, I constantly have to look stuff up. There's stuff like that. Sometimes it's just based on your ruling. Like, there's not even like a solid rule about it. Although they do pretty good about having rules and ideas about how to rule everything. But sometimes you just have to make stuff up. But it's cool. It's fine. Did I see the UB forward reveals? I did not. Well, my theory on life, Andy, is I don't willingly interact with things that make me upset. It just leads to a happier life. D&D sounds fun, not gonna lie, but it feels so nerdy to me. I mean, I guess I feel like the concept of nerdy just doesn't exist anymore. Like, comic books used to be nerdy. Now the best-selling film of all time is a comic book movie. Anime used to be nerdy, but now everybody watches anime. I just don't think that anything is nerdy anymore. But at least for me, something being nerdy never deterred me from doing it. Like, I'm okay with nerdiness, I guess. This doesn't seem like a negative thing to me. Did I see the Marlon Wayans D&D movie? I never seen it. I just recently learned that was a thing. I've never seen it though. I heard that it was not good, which you can imagine. Yeah, I work for a terrain company. I'm on the streaming video team, so I don't make the pieces myself, but I help figure out how to present them. That's cool. Yeah, I should have I should have gotten a career in D&D. All this politics stuff is for the birds. Good thing D&D never gets political. I mean, I guess it depends on who you play with. The thing about stories, the thing about D&D is you can have a lot of political conflicts, but you also get to make it make sense. You get to make it worth it. You get to say, yes, hey, maybe this monarch, like, you know, completely abused their power and oppressed all of the people in its kingdom, but the heroes did something and made that right at the end, you know? But I'm sure there are DMs that want to be like realistic and tough, and they just have a bunch of fucked up stuff that happens in the game, with, you know, with no closure on it, because that's closer to what real life is like. But I mean, I feel like that defeats the point of escaping into this alternate reality. It's like the second worst movie. What kind of music do I like? I like all kinds of music. I guess my favorite genre is probably hip hop, though. Yeah, there's whenever I like, that's another thing you can do if you're a new DM and you're worried that you might be bad at being a DM, or you might make the game not fun for the players. Just read many of the Reddit threads or YouTube videos about nightmare DMs and how they just make the games really unfun for the players. And it'll let you know that you're not the worst DM out there. Even like very experienced DM. In fact, I feel like it's likely to happen for experienced DMs because they just get bored of the same old shit. And there's just like certain things that you have to talk with your players about beforehand, because you never know what your players are willing to handle or willing to actually play along with. You know, you can probably think of some things, but you know, like for example, someone like murdering a child or something in your game. You know, that might, you know, obviously that's a shocking thing. But that might actually like trigger someone in your group, and you don't want that to happen. You need to make sure that's okay. And that Odysseus, I think that's why it's also good for the players to give feedback. I try to ask the players for feedback a lot. But I feel like if you're paying attention, you can tell if the players are having fun. Like if you get a reaction at all, you're doing a good job. If you describe a scene and you see the players like cringe, or like maybe not cringe, but you know, they reel back because you describe something creepy, or if they say, "Oh shit," you're probably doing a good job. your world is probably coming through. What did I use to make my hair grow? I didn't use anything. My hair just grows. The politics is not bad, but the way that we talk about and participate in politics in this day and age is it's less than ideal, and it's very frustrating. Does anything like that happen in my game? No, I don't think so. The game that I'm in is with all the people in my game are like very close friends of mine. So I'm pretty lucky in that I kind of like already understand what they might like or not like. And also, you know, it's unlikely they're going to like flip out at me. Like if something like that does happen, they'll probably just like pull me aside and give me, you know, I know a lot of games, a lot of other people's games, they'll have players. Sometimes the players are strangers. Sometimes the players don't know each other very well. But luckily in this game, we're all like really close friends. Like I'm very lucky in my game in many ways. Like I'm lucky in that way. I'm lucky in that we have a group that is very consistent. We've been playing consistently every week for about 2 years now, which from what I understand is pretty rare to keep a group together that long. So yeah. And it's actually interesting. Like obviously all this COVID stuff is really bad, but before this happened, we were worried that our game would run into issues because we play on Saturdays, and but the thing is, most of the people in the group are also football fans, and specifically college football fans, and college football comes on Saturday. And Saturday is just the most convenient day for everyone. It would be hard to make it happen on any other day, like possibly Friday, but a couple of people in the group have to work on Friday. But because of COVID, there's probably not going to be a football season. So that means we probably get to keep playing D&D, which is, you know, one bright side to the whole thing. I used to listen to a lot of E40 back in the day. Yeah, that's the thing, like when it comes to the idea of being nerdy, sometimes I identify with it and sometimes I don't. I've talked about this before, but there's like the stereotypical nerdy things, and a lot of those things I've been into and that I'm still into. You know, D&D, comic books. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering growing up. I don't really play it anymore though. It's hard to, I guess video games don't count as nerdy anymore because everyone plays video games, but I grew up obsessed with video games. You know, so I have a lot of that stuff. And even like the more like academically nerdy stuff, like I love math and science and stuff. But there's also the other stereotypically non-nerdy things. Like I'm into sports and I'm into fitness and athletics and things of that nature. And nerds are often associated with being like socially anxious or socially weird, and I don't really think that applies to me that much. So I just the label nerd, I just feel like it just doesn't mean that much anymore. What's in the can? Beer? Um, I don't really keep up with NFL, so I couldn't tell you anything about what's going on there. But yeah, that's Clyde. That's the dude. Oh yeah, that's the dude from LSU. I could see it. Yeah, here in Alabama, we're just obsessed with college football. We don't. I mean, there's obviously people that watch NFL, but it's not as big here because we don't. I guess because we don't have a local pro team. But you know, obviously, our college football team is pretty good. Our college football teams are pretty good, but especially Alabama, the main one. Yeah, I didn't even catch the draft. Yeah, I forgot. I actually forgot about that guy. He popped off in the national championship. What internet person have you been following the most? Thought about this today when I realized I've been watching. What is YMS? Your movie sucks. You mean like in terms of time? Who have I been following for the most amount of time? Is that a motorcycle or something? Anyway. Well, the thing that comes to mind immediately is Vlogbrothers. I've been following the Vlogbrothers since 2008, and I still watch all their videos. So in terms of something that I actively have followed consistently and still follow, god damn this camera. Oh, I thought I fixed it. I think I just have to buy a new camera. I have to buy one that actually works for what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, I don't think there's probably nothing else that quite matches up in terms of how long I've been following them. Definitely Vlogbrothers. Maybe Philip DeFranco, but I don't follow them. I don't follow him as sort of religiously as I do Vlogbrothers. But I have been watching him since way back in the day, and I still watch him every now and then. So that's another example. It's like a TV show that never ends. Yeah. Wheezy Waiter, I've been following him for a long time. I think I discovered him after Vlogbrothers. Like, I think I discovered him through Vlogbrothers, actually. But I still watch him pretty regularly. Is Dirty South my favorite subgenre of hip hop? Not really. No, I used to be at odds with a lot of my friends down here. I mean, I used to be pretty snobby about rap music. But as I grew older, I started to appreciate a lot of the music. Like I used to really be into like Mos Def and Common and Nas and stuff like that, like the more lyrical hip hop. But over time, I started to appreciate just the more like fun stuff. Like I just started to understand that there's just they have different purposes, you know. Some music is there to make you think, or some music is there to chill to and vibe to, and some music is there just to fucking get drunk and party, and some music is there to dance. And you know, so I started to understand and appreciate different types of music. But I still love like the type of music the type of hip hop music I like is not even necessarily like the lyrically stuff that's like, you know, like has a message or anything, but just stuff, music like rap music that has good lyrics, clever lyrics. I like wordplay and lyrics and rhymes and stuff. That's kind of what I like. So people that are good at putting words together and good at making things rhyme together, like to me that is one of the coolest skills that rappers have, is making things rhyme together while also making sense. Like that's really crazy to me that a lot of people can. I mean, you know, it can be done. It's not that hard, but the more complex the verses and rhymes are while still making sense, like that's super cool to me. I don't think I've listened to Billy Woods. I'm pretty out of the loop these days. But you know, there's definitely some southern music that's dope. Like, I mean, my favorite rapper of all time is Andre 3000 from Outkast. I think he's a genius. And I used to love Ludacris back in the day. And there's stuff like UGK, what the fuck? UGK and 8 Ball and MJG. Like, I think they're amazing legends. So that's kind of the southern stuff I grew up listening to. When I was like really young, you know, like 6th grade, 5th grade, I got really into like Master P, and later I got into like Cash Money, like Lil Wayne and Juvenile and stuff. I don't think I would be as into that now, but I loved it when I was younger. Runner 11010, thank you for the 690. Ludacris was jokes. I guess so. He definitely was funny. But I liked him because he could flow and he could rhyme. That's a good example of what I mean. Ludacris didn't make like super thought-provoking songs, but they were just fun and catchy, but also he could really flow and really put words together in an interesting way. And that was something that a lot of other southern rappers weren't really doing. Like there were a lot of southern rap that was really popular that I didn't like and probably still don't like to this day. Like I was never a big fan of Yin Yang Twins. I was never a big fan of like P.D. Pablo and stuff like that. I just felt like it wasn't really interesting. They didn't really do anything interesting with the words. It was really just all about the sound and the beat and being catchy, which is fine. Like I said, I understand the point of it now. It's just not my favorite stuff to listen to. Hey, just wanted to say love your stuff, man. Been watching you for a while and always learn something from your uploads. Wish I could send more cash, but COVID hit hard. Keep making awesome. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, definitely don't worry about sending more stuff. I appreciate anything that you're able to give, even if it's nothing. It's just awesome that you support me and watch my videos. I used to be pretentious, but I've learned to be more open-minded about it. It's just there's different stuff for different occasions, and also for different audiences. Like it's sort of like those people that's like, man, Justin Bieber was trash. Why is Justin Bieber so popular? It's like maybe the reason you don't like Justin Bieber is because you're a 30-year-old man and his music is not for you. That's probably why. Like you have to understand that some stuff is not for you and some stuff is for a certain occasion. Like, you know, sometimes I like go out to the bar, or at least before COVID I would go out to the bar and they'll have a jukebox at the bar. And it's like, yeah, fucking I love Talib Kweli, but I'm not going to play Talib Kweli on the jukebox at the bar. Nobody wants to hear that shit. It's not what it's for. There are some people who are just geniuses, crossover geniuses, that find a way to make music that is entertaining and catchy and lyrically interesting. Like I think a good example of that is Kendrick Lamar. I think he's very clearly a genius. But not everybody does that, and not everybody has to do that, you know. Yeah, I would definitely put Gambino in that category as well. And also my favorite thing about people like Gambino and Kendrick Lamar is they can actually they're so good at like making interesting songs that they can make songs about nothing that sound like they're interesting. Or they can make very like basic one-dimensional songs, but they're still like catchy, and just because of how it sounds and who these people are, people assume the songs must be deep. Like a great example is Redbone by Childish Gambino. Amazing song, but it's just a song about girls and stuff. It's not that deep, but it sounds like it should be, right? Or like Be Humble by Kendrick Lamar. The song is really just him flexing. Like it's really not about anything. But because it's Kendrick Lamar, it sounds like it should be deep. And I think you know, like different people have different things that they lean towards. Some people like the party music more, you know. Some people like the more introspective lyrical music, and it's fine. Kanye West is another good example of someone who can kind of just make anything. He can make a song that's catchy, that you can dance to, that's lyrically interesting. Jay-Z can do it too. I'm sure that there are more modern artists that can, but I don't really keep up anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end the stream in a minute. I guess I'll finish this beer. I have like a little bit left. I don't know if it's good to drink beer on stream because it makes me burpy. Probably shouldn't do that. I should probably just make like a cocktail or something. What do you mean, show me some ass with some stretch marks isn't deep? Well, honestly, that part of the song is a little bit interesting because he's just talking about how you know, women with how only a certain type of woman is portrayed in media, and he's saying that other types of women, other body types should be given some love. Well, definitely my liquor of choice is whiskey. And I think whiskey goes with a lot of stuff. But generally what I would probably drink is whiskey and Diet Coke because that's kind of what I normally drink. But I love that song, by the way. It's a great song. I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, though. I think Good Kid, Mad City is like perhaps top 5 best rap albums of all time. In my personal opinion, To Pimp a Butterfly is pretty good too, but I feel like Good Kid, Mad City is a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, Whiskey Ginger is really good for sure. I try to avoid sugar. So, but I mean, they have like, you know, like sugar-free variations. The problem with, or at least when I drink like whiskey Diet Coke, is if I drink it too late, I just won't go to sleep. Because even though it doesn't feel like the caffeine affects me, like I don't feel like it is giving me energy or making me jittery, it does keep me from going to sleep. So I have to make sure I stop drinking the caffeine like 3 hours before I want to sleep. They had Keystone Light on sale. You get 15 of them for $7. They really just give these away. It's ridiculous how cheap they are. That's why I'm always drinking Keystone on stream, because they're so cheap. And also, I mean, to me they taste about the same as like Coors Light or Bud Light. It seems like a lot of people think that they're a bit worse, but I feel like it's in the same tier. But it's like half the price. not old enough to drink that shit because I'm 17 years old. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of 17-year-olds are drinking, but you know, don't drink. Honestly, like these days, when like younger people ask me about drinking, I'm like, just don't even do it. Just don't bother. My friends just turned 21. You know, I actually like, I guess the stereotype is you turn 21 and then you just start drinking and going crazy, but really, I didn't really start drinking until I was like 23 or so. The biggest letdown was discovering how bad alcohol tastes. Well, yeah. I think that most people who drink, well, first of all, like you don't drink alcohol for the taste. Like that's not the point of alcohol. But there are choices that where the taste is good enough to where you can stomach it to get the effects of alcohol. And then over time you acquire the taste for alcohol, and acquired tastes they happen for a lot of things. So it's not like it's weird to acquire the taste for something. Like this, you know, this beer like genuinely tastes good to me. It's not like I'm stomaching it, like forcing it down my throat. Like it genuinely tastes good to me. But I do remember the first time I had beer, I thought it was disgusting. I remember it specifically. I went to a party when I was like 20 or 21. And I never really drank beer. Like before, when I drank, I would have like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or Smirnoff Ice or something like that. I would never get a beer. But then I actually got a beer for the first time, like when I was 20. That's like the first time I had a beer. I was like literally 20. Probably like 19. Probably 19. And I couldn't even finish it because it was so bad. I literally couldn't finish the cup. But, you know, when you're in college, you want to fit in. So you keep trying, you keep drinking beer. And then one day, for me, it was literally like overnight. Just like one day, it was like, wait a minute, this is good now. Well, wine, the quality and taste of wine can vary widely. Like there's a wide gamut of, and honestly, that's the same for pretty much any alcohol. But I will say, well, it depends on what your goal is. Like I come from a culture where people drink to get buzzed or to get drunk. That's kind of what we did it for. That was the point. So we just kind of weren't worried about the taste. And if it was so terrible we couldn't stomach it, we just had to make little concessions. Like maybe don't drink like Bud Light, try Yingling. Yingling tastes a little bit better. Or if you just don't like that beer taste, maybe try sour beer. Sour beers kind of taste like juice, kind of. Or if you want to try liquor, like I would suggest a Long Island iced tea, but you shouldn't get Long Island iced teas for various reasons. For one, it's just a lot of it's too expensive, first of all, for what you get. Electrolo Main, thank you for the $4.99. Hi T1J, have you ever had Tullamore? It's a whiskey. Yes, Tullamore is maybe my favorite whiskey. Tullamore Dew, or Tully as we call it. All right, Nicholas, thanks for dropping by. Also, making Long Island iced teas is a pain in the ass. I used to work in a bar, so I know I wasn't the bartender, but I knew them and I saw them do it. All bartenders, or at least most bartenders, hate making Long Islands because they take too long to make and they slow down the business. So don't buy that. But they taste really, really good. That's the thing. They actually taste good. So it's a popular drink for people that don't drink that much or who don't like alcohol. But you can try like cranberry vodka. It just kind of tastes like cranberry juice with a little bit of spike in it. I drink whiskey and Diet Coke, or whiskey and Coke. To me, tastes delicious. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine it tasting bad, but I guess it probably does to people that don't drink alcohol. Like, I feel like whiskey improves the taste of cola. Alcohol has helped me get through some tough times, which I don't like admitting. I think that alcohol has helped me in many ways. The way that I like to say it is some of the best times I've ever had in my life were directly because of alcohol. And some of the worst times I've ever had in my life were directly because of alcohol. And I think alcohol, to me, there are just times where it's like I don't feel good and I would like to feel a little bit better. And sometimes alcohol facilitates that. I don't know if that is a healthy way to look at it, but it works sometimes. Sometimes alcohol makes you feel worse depending on the situation, depending on your mind state, and depending on how much alcohol you have. But sometimes it just gives you a little bit of a buzz, makes you feel a little bit better. But I think that alcohol helped me overcome my shyness. Because as you probably know, alcohol sort of lowers your inhibitions and makes you more social and more talkative, makes you less fearful in social situations. And that really helped me. It just helped me sort of like practice being social and participating in social situations until eventually I didn't really need the alcohol to do it anymore. So, I really think that if you learn to have a healthy relationship, a responsible relationship with alcohol, then alcohol is pretty cool. But the problem is the nature of alcohol is that it can, it's mind altering, so it can influence you to make bad decisions. Like, I think what the downfall that most people go through is they think that they can drink alcohol and then continue to make good decisions. That's not really how it works. You pretty much have to make good decisions before you're inebriated. You have to set yourself up for success in the beginning. So like, for example, you go to a bar, you set a limit for yourself. You say, I'm going to have 3 drinks and that's it. But that doesn't work in and of itself. It may work for you, but it may not work for other people because they might get in there, have their 3rd drink. Now they're feeling buzzed, they're having fun, and they're like, fuck it, let's take some shots, let's keep going. And then next thing you know, you're wasted and you have a $150 tab at the bar. So for some people, you have to literally bring just enough cash for 3 drinks and tip. Make sure you tip your bartenders. Always tip your bartenders. And that's it. But don't bring any more money. Don't bring your card. Just bring enough money for the exact amount. So stuff like that. Yeah. But I think if you learn to have a responsible relationship with alcohol, I think it's a good thing. Because it makes you feel good. It's not that unhealthy if you're not binge drinking or drinking a bunch of shit every day. Sometimes it can help you in social situations, or I think there are some times where people are needlessly inhibited, and sometimes alcohol just removes a little bit, like one thin layer of inhibition. And also, listen, every now and then, sometimes you're like, you take stock and you're like, well, I'm good. I'm off tomorrow. I've taken care of everything I need to take care of. I'm going to go, to the lake or to the beach or to a cabin in the woods with some friends and just get fucked up. Just have some fun. Just get wasted with people that you trust. Only with people you trust. Don't get wasted around people you don't trust. And just have a good time. And you will feel like shit the next day, probably, unless you're really young and don't have hangovers. In which case, I'm jealous of you. But you probably feel like shit the next day. But at least you had a fun day/night with your friends. I don't recommend doing that too often, but I think you should do it. You should try it once. Just make sure you're being responsible and you're around people you trust, and make sure you're not driving or anything like that, Lizzie Parr, thank you for the $4.99. Cheers to the chat. Cheers to the chat indeed. Cheers. But I feel like if you have any reservations about alcohol, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you can skip it if you want. There's more to life for sure. But I think that was my last chug of beer there, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. It's 10 p.m. here, so it is getting kind of late. I'm almost 30 now. Try to be as responsible as possible. For sure, yeah. I agree with that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to put out a video this week, and I'm gonna try to stream again on Friday. Thanks to, well, camera just shut off again, but I'm not gonna bother turning it back on. But yeah, check out the description under the video for just all my links, my social media, and all that stuff. And if you want to rewatch this stream, or if you want to rewatch any of the other streams, there's a link to a playlist in the description below. I guess that's it though. I'll see y'all sometime this week. If not, then Friday. Or you can join the Discord. I'm usually pretty active there. But yeah, I guess that's it. Okay.